and welcome to Talk This.
It's dangerous to podcast alone.
I almost, because in my sound check, I always say the whole thing, so I almost scooped you there.
Wow, it's stealing my lines.
This is what I do.
You steal people's lines?
This is how I made it through 4 years of acting school and made it out on top, is I stole the lines of everyone around me.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm stealing Emma's.
Yep.
So watch out. I might just take over the full intro. Anyway, I'm your host, Madelyn. And this is your other host, Emma.
I'm your other host, Emma. And welcome to the side quest.
We're excited to have you. We've got some good stuff to talk about on this week's side quest, where we break from our usual format of talking about, well, it's not really even usual, right? We do an equal number of side quests and full episodes.
Yes.
So I don't know why I say usual. We break from our, what we call full episode, although, again, they're about the same length these days.
Yeah, we really just alternate between full episodes. But
we call these ones side quests because, much like many games that you can get nowadays in 2018, the side quests sometimes really usurp the main story.
Yes.
So that's really why we're doing it that way, not just because we like to listen to ourselves talk.
Yes.
Anyway, on our side quest, we break from our main story where we talk about a game that's old and a game that's new and then try to mash them together. And instead we talk about some stuff that's going on in our gaming lives and our thoughts on some of the gaming events of the past 2 weeks or so. So that starts with what's always sort of my favorite thing to talk about, which is our saved data from the week.
Mm-hmm.
Or the 2 weeks, the fortnight. So Emma, what have you been playing these past 2 weeks?
Well, a couple different things. We played some Fortnite together these past 2 weeks, which was fun. I got Blue Reflection in the Gamefly, which is like if you took Persona 5 and a Magical Girl show, specifically like Madoka Magica, and made them into a game, but also took out, like, the exciting parts. It's, like, really... It's a very successful crossover, but it's also very thoroughly mediocre. So there's that. I mean, it's just... I don't know. It's, like... It has, like, a Persona battle system, except as opposed to, like, everybody takes their turn. It's, like, the time system, right? So, like, if you use a move, it might take you longer to get to your next move. That sort of turn-based combat system. But you heal after battles.
Oh.
So there's not really any challenge to it, because you can just, if you're struggling in a battle, you can just run away, you're totally healed, and then you can try it again. I mean, not boss fights, obviously, but anything that's just, like, random enemy encounter.
I mean, I guess... I don't know. I'm not one to hate on difficulty levels, right? Mm-hmm. Not every game has to be incredibly hard.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But also that does seem to kind of defeat any kind of strategy that you might have, unless the individual enemies really are that hard, which it sounds like they aren't.
I don't think they are, no. I mean, I like the idea of it. It's like you play as a girl who injured her leg and can now no longer pursue her dream of being a ballerina. But she stumbles into this magical girl power, and the two people who are also magical girls tell her that if she helps them save the world, that she'll get one wish, so that she can be a ballerina again. And I like it because there's only girls in the cast, it's at an all-girls school, and the characters have interesting dynamics that, like, don't get fleshed out enough. I'm going to do a 5 and 5, so I don't want to go too far into it. But the magical girl designs, which is really my biggest problem with it, are just so lackluster. They're just bad. They're not fun magical girl costumes. Which is like, that's half the point of a magical girl show.
You said right? Magical girl like 24 times in the
Sailor
past minute.
Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura. That's magical girl, right? They have fun costumes. Where's my fun costumes? These just look like soft lingerie. Like...
At least it's soft.
very fluffy lingerie. They look like pixies a little bit. Like sort of like they'd be like Tinkerbell friends.
I know. Who wants Pixie Girl when you can have Magical Girl?
Yes. I also played a little bit of Gravity Rush, which is a game I played a little bit of a while ago and then just put down and never picked that back up.
That's funny, because it's about gravity, and you were talking about putting it down and picking it up.
Hilarious.
So funny.
That's also a fun game. It was a Vita game, and then they remastered it for the PlayStation 4, so it has a very Vita feel to it, and I'm not sure how to describe. But it's like you control gravity, so you move around through the air, and it's like fun to go around the city and explore with gravity. I don't know. So it was a fun thing to pick up. And a little bit of Octopath. I've talked enough about Octopath on this podcast. You can go back. You can go back to previous side quests or the blog that's on the blog if you want to hear my thoughts on Octopath. Yeah, and I think that's it. I think that's the full totality of what I've played.
We talked about Gravity Rush on one of the really early podcasts, I think.
Yeah, the second one.
No, not the second one.
The fourth one.
Yeah.
It was the first. It was the first one the first one we actually picked, as opposed to just our first 3 episodes. We just chose ahead of time which games we wanted to talk about.
So that's a real kind of a milestone game for the podcast. I'm glad that you're back playing it.
Yeah.
Well, I have not had too much time to play games these past 2 weeks, just because it's been a busy time at my job, because the other person who has my intern position is leaving for a real job, so I have to pick up all of that work, which is cool and fun. It also just been a busy time for theater stuff that I'm doing, but I did really enjoy playing Fortnite with you. That was cool. We kind of already talked about that last week, so I don't want to go into it too much. But we should play it again one more time before Nintendo Online becomes a paid service. Maybe. If we have time. I say that knowing full well that I think I have every evening booked next week. So, forget it.
Oh, you know what I discovered, though? So, I've never played, like, multiplayer online, but I think they do actually charge you on PlayStation and Xbox to do that. I was sort of under the impression that they did not, because I've used online services before in Persona 5 and Nier Automata, but I guess that wasn't online multiplayer, so it's different.
Yeah, I really thought it was kind of like gross and exploitative that Nintendo was going to do this, but I guess if everyone's doing it, then it's still a little gross and exploitative, but less so.
Mm-hmm.
Just everyone's doing it, so it's not Nintendo that's special. So that's good to know, I guess. It's good. No one at Talk This NYC HQ has really gotten addicted to Fortnite yet that I'm aware of, at least. So hopefully we won't be too sad when that goes to no more online stuff. Mostly what I've been playing... No, that's not true. There was some other stuff. But mostly what I've been playing is Persona 5.
Champ McDude!
Yay, Champ McDude! The Adventures of Champ McDude!
If you Google Champ McDude, lots of our stuff comes up.
Yeah, Champ McDude and Clickbait Boyfriend, we pretty much have monopolies on the Google search. So don't tell me I can't do SEO, because I can.
What has Champ McDude been adventuring in?
Well, theoretically, Champ McDude has also been adventuring in Fortnite, seeing as that is my Fortnite name, Champ McDude.
Mm-hmm.
But Champ McDude just finished Okromura's Palace, but it's really awkward because they've got like 2 weeks before he has the spoiler alert, Peter people, for a game that is, again, like 2 years old, but whatever. It's long, so I'll forgive you for not having finished it. Obviously, he's going to have a mental shutdown. We saw him. Like, I literally saw the cutscene in which they kill him. Mm-hmm. So, he's already had the mental shutdown, and yet he does not seem to have. Because I get a text every single freaking day from Haru being like, my dad still isn't talking really. And everyone's like, it's okay, it was the same with my person who abused me.
Well, it is, though. The way it's worked in the past, it has taken a while. So even if he does have a mental shutdown, maybe that also takes a while.
Yeah, but they've, like, orchestrated mental shutdowns. Remember the principal who had a mental shutdown, like, literally while he was crossing the street?
Yeah.
No way they could have done that 2 weeks in advance.
I don't know if it was on purpose that he also got hit by a car. I think that, like, anybody looking at the principal would think, like, yeah, that guy would have a heart attack.
Yeah,
that guy is a heart attack waiting to happen.
That's fair, but still, it's as usual a little off-putting that we're gonna have to wait 2 weeks for my super high popularity to inevitably come crashing down.
Yeah.
Like,
remember
I'm
when
here
Futaba
waiting
slept for however long she slept?
Yeah, Futaba slept for like a full month. It's like no one is really that worried about it. Like, I'm a little surprised Sojiro isn't more concerned.
Yeah.
Like, she's been in a coma. But yeah. So, you know, while I'm waiting for this inevitable, incredible demonization of the Phantom Thieves to happen in about 13 days or whatever, you know, hanging out, trying to romance the ladies. Have
you decided which lady to romance, or if you're going to romance all of them?
I'm trying to romance all of them.
Really?
Because I really want that Valentine's Day scenario.
Why do you want that?
Has my back. It's my boy Sojiro. Finally taught me how to make curry, by the way. Took long enough. Finally curried favor with him. Ayo.
Oh, wow. That was a good one. That was a zinger.
That was a real Champ McDude style, because Champ McDude's a witty guy.
Yes.
And I maxed out Ryuji's confidant.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Not that it really seemed to, like, really do anything. I mean, I know his persona changed, but, like, did it get stronger? I don't think it did.
He doesn't have a weak point anymore.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Well, at least he got, like, a new ability, right? When he...
Yeah, he got, like, dodge wind and stuff.
Yeah, well, I guess it's still weak, but it shouldn't hit him as much anymore.
Yeah, but, like...
So that's pretty helpful.
That's all I get for him being my best friend. Is he can dodge
He will
bruises.
literally die for you.
I know.
Okay?
I also, for the first time ever in my Persona playthrough, ran away from enemies.
Wow, really?
I didn't even know how to do it, really. I had to have Josh look it up for me. Because we had that time-limited... in hindsight, I could have fought them all. I had plenty of time. We had that time-limited thing where he's going to take off in his spaceship.
Yeah.
You only have 10 minutes. And I didn't know how long it was going to be. So I was like, I can't fight all these dudes. We have to run. But I think it would have been faster to fight them, honestly.
Yeah.
So, smooth move on my part. Also played, because we had a guest in the apartment last week for a couple days. So we played some Katamari. That was fun. It's always nice to kind of go back to Katamari and suddenly get like a high score on a level that you hadn't been able to before. So that's all I have left, is getting high scores on levels we've already played. But I will never, ever, ever play Bear Cow. That one is going to have to stay a crappy score forever. I don't know why. I do know why they put it on every single one, because it's iconic.
Yeah.
Right? The Bear Cow levels in Katamari Damacy are iconic, but they're iconic because they're terrible.
Yeah.
They're
in case you didn't know, you roll up stuff in Katamari, and in these particular levels, you're trying to roll up the biggest cow or the biggest bear, but it's the first one you roll up, and there's tons of bear and cow-shaped hazards everywhere that you have to avoid in order to pick up a reasonable-sized one. And
it would be fine, just the game controls on Katamari just aren't good enough, and the, level with the load-in stuff isn't good enough for this to be... It would be a cool level if all of that was really, really cutting edge and good. Mm-hmm. And maybe it will be on the Switch remaster, right?
Ooh, yeah.
But,
gyro controls.
Yeah. On the PS3, though, it's just really, really frustrating, and it's my least favorite level in the entire world. I think that's mostly it. I didn't play any. There was Little Big Planet that was played, but I didn't play that. So... that's what I've been playing. Mostly been playing Persona. That's been cool. I feel like I'm fine, I have so much left of the game, though. There's like 6 months left. How are there still another 6 months?
I don't know.
Jeez.
It's only, like, it's like 80 to 100 hours, so.
Yeah, I know. Well, if it's 80 hours, like, I'm already, like, practically there.
80 to 100, that's why, because
I know.
You're
and
slow.
I've sometimes left the game kind of running while I did other things, so I realize my hour count's a little bit inflated, but still. When I finish that game, I'm going to have, like, a party.
Yeah.
A podcast party.
Yeah.
So that's been what we've been playing these past 2 weeks.
Well, speaking of Katamari Damacy on the Switch, or if you're the announcer on the Nintendo Direct, Katamari Damacy.
Has he never listened to the song?
I know! I was so confused when he said that. Nobody in the chat when I watched the Nintendo Direct seemed upset about it. I was super upset. I was like,
every single song, it's pronounced as Damacy.
They were playing the song. Not with the lyrics, but they're playing the song.
That's so dumb.
But our weather report, Madelyn, what's our weather report?
So this week we're asking whether Emma and I, and not collectively, each of us individually, will purchase more than one game that was in this week's Nintendo Direct.
So my knee-jerk response was no. I mean, The World Ends With You, I've already pre-ordered, but that was in this Direct for all of about 10 seconds, so I don't even know if that counts as a game.
It's like a half point.
Yeah, the mecha game that they showed off at E3 too, Demon X Machina, looks like it might be cool, but they haven't said anything about any sort of story it has, which sort of impacts my decision to buy it. Against my better judgment of my experience with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna, the huge DLC expansion, looks super cool, like cooler than the base game, but I know I shouldn't buy it. And everything else, I've never been a big Mario person. And they're all like Mario related platform stuff. Like, they all look cute and good, they're just not like my type of game. And I don't think I'm going to rebuy Katamari Damacy again. And I'm not going to buy Civilization. But having said all these titles, I already know what Madelyn's response is going to be.
Like, definitely yes. Obviously yes. Have been waiting for more games to purchase for the Switch for months. I only have... That's not true. How many games do I have now? 3. I have already this week, although I haven't yet in recording time, but by the time this is out, I will have purchased Overcooked 2, so that'll make 4. Plus, if we count Fortnite, I guess I have 5 games for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I've, finished any of them, but between everyone in the household, actually we have, because Clickbait Boyfriend has finished, basically, all he has to do is go beat the dragon. Breath of the Wild. We've played so many hours of Fire Emblem Warriors that we finished the main story. There's just a bajillion, million, billion history modes.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll happen someday. We've basically finished Overcooked 1. We just have 2 left in the DLC. So I've been waiting for new games forever, and now there are finally ones that I want to get. I will probably also get The World Ends With You, if only so we can play it local co-op sometime this fall.
Do you need cool. 2 Switches to do that?
I don't know. I assumed that you did. Maybe not.
I don't know.
Well, I would like to play it anyway. I played, I feel like, 2/3 of it at some point on the DS, but I remember very little about it.
It's very weird, but also very cool.
Yeah, that's sort of what I remember. I think that I'll get Animal Crossing, because, little miss obsessed with Stardew Valley for a week every couple of months. Me needs her Animal Crossing. I need to play that multiplayer sometime too. You bought it, right?
Bought what?
Stardew Valley. Didn't you play it?
Yeah, I did.
So you should move into my farm.
Sure.
We should do that sometime. Anyway, I'll probably get Animal Crossing. I'll probably get Civilization, depending on the price. I'll either get it there, or I'll say, maybe I should actually buy Civ 6 for my computer, where it'll probably be cheaper. Mm-hmm. So it'll indirectly lead to me buying it. Maybe. Which is really dangerous. That's just a really bad thing for me. But whatever. I have so much free time, it'll be fine.
Yeah. You know what I am going to buy? I am going to buy Final Fantasy IX whenever it comes out. Because I've heard nothing but good things about that game. but it's also like one of the more niche ones, so I don't really know anything about it. So I feel like it'll be more fun. Like, I have Final Fantasy VII on my computer, but it's like I already know everything that happens in Final Fantasy VII. So really, what's the point of playing it? You know?
And what's the deal with them just completely being like, hey, remember, like, Leon? Not that he's called that in that game, right?
Yeah,
remember
Squall?
Like, screw him.
Apparently, either, like, people didn't like the battle system in that game.
Right, you, like, drain stuff from people.
Yeah, or it was, like, very controversial. And, you know. I just read, like, a think piece on Kotaku about, like, the bad lessons on love that Final Fantasy
I read that think piece, too.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and I think, pretty valid.
Yeah. There was an interesting comment down below, though, that was saying, like, the whole point of Renoa's character arc is learning that she doesn't have to sacrifice herself to make other people happy.
Well, that's valid, too.
So that manifested in the love story.
If only I had the opportunity to play the game so that I could evaluate those claims.
I don't know. Maybe it's on PlayStation 3. I don't know.
I don't think so, but I could look. Yeah.
If you really wanted to play it.
But, like, as for other things, I will buy Katamari Damacy if there are new levels. I don't think that there are going to be. It sounds like it's just a remaster of the first game, in which case, almost certainly that's a no. Mm-hmm. But if there are going to be any new content, because I am starved for new Katamari content. I don't know why they haven't made more.
He's working on other equally weird things.
Yeah, but everybody loves Katamari. Whatever.
It's literally the title of the game.
Yeah, I know. We love Katamari. It's true. I don't know about these Pokemon games. I'm interested, but I really just want them to release, like, a classic Pokemon game so I can dive back into that. And what I want...
These Pokemon games feel like cash grabs to me.
They really do. I mean, really what I want is for them to release a remastered edition of Pokemon Yellow. That's what I want.
They've said a new Pokemon is coming in 2019 before. I'm pretty sure.
So, we'll see. I watched some interesting videos lately, too, about... Sometimes I just, like, kind of dive into Pokemon lore because I think it's neat, right? I think the glitches in Pokemon are really interesting. But I was watching some videos about how hard it is to actually catch them all in some of the games. It's really funny. Anyway, that little side note. And the last one, before we, like, switch off of this, that I think might get bought. I would consider the Final Fantasies if I, like, feel like it. Right? I feel like I need more games. LOL, as if I need more games. Haha. But I'm worried that we will end up buying frickin' Super Smash. And I'm not going to be happy about it.
You know, no matter your opinion on Smash, you can really tell that they, like, put a lot of, like, love into this one.
I know.
Like, just the sheer detail they go into in each direct that it's there. Like, you can tell that, what's his name, Sakurai, is, like, super proud of this, right?
I believe it, right? Like, I'm sure it's going to be a great Smash game, but I hate Smash. Anyway, will anyone really be able to hit Isabelle?
I don't want to hit Isabelle. She's so cute.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the strategy in picking that character, because no one will want to fight you.
She's so adorable.
Anyway, there's basically 100% chance that I will end up buying at least 2 of these games, maybe more. So, look out for that cold front coming into my bank account. It's going to be a chilly one. And that's been the weather report.
And now, if you're feeling chilly, let's go over to our nice and cozy off-topic corner where we spend some time together and don't talk about video games, but other nerdy and not so nerdy little topics.
Why has the off-topic corner become the big comfy couch?
I don't know.
Anyway, Emma, what's our little off-topic cup of cocoa this week?
Well, Mal and I watched Avatar The Last Airbender back in high school. Like, our friend Teddy, was Teddy the one who told us we should watch it, maybe?
Almost certainly. That I mean,
Yes.
even if not, we definitely watched. I have watched some of it with Teddy before.
Yes. And we really, really enjoyed Avatar The Last Airbender. I really loved it. Um, and so now the writers, I think it's the writers, like the showrunners or whatever, of Avatar The Last Airbender, and I guess also Legend of Korra, which we did not watch. Because, I don't know.
Well, I watched some of The Legend of Korra.
We watched the first season, and I think that's where we stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, because we, caught up to it, so, season 2 was airing, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently wanted to binge watch it. We're binge watchers when it comes to these. But the showrunners have released a new show on Netflix called The Dragon Prince, which I watched the first episode of this week. And it, it feels like Avatar, except for the fact that it's just whoever thought this animation was a good idea, they are not very good at their job. It's 3D animation that's trying to mimic 2D animation. So it feels like the characters go between frames. So in 2D animation you have frames, and then in frames you have in-betweens, right? That are sort of sketchily done to move the character from one place to another. So a lot of the times when people are talking, they'll be very still, right? So they don't have to move anything except their mouth, or they'll just move part of themselves, or there'll be small motions. And that's what it feels like in this. It feels like sometimes their face just jerks to the next position when they're talking to people. And it looks super unsmooth to the point that it gives me a little bit of a headache. It gave me a little bit of headache to watch the first episode. It's I really want to like it because I like a lot of the characters. There's some interesting characters. I like the dynamic they're setting up. The world seems interesting, very similar to Avatar in a lot of ways. But it's just so hard to watch.
Do you think you'll get used to it eventually?
Maybe. I think because it's possible it's really bothering me because I've watched more animation in the last couple of years, right? There's this anime that's 3D animation that's called Land of the Lustrous. That is the only animation that's really managed to do CG right, 3D models right, because it's hard to make it look not like a video game cutscene, right? Mm-hmm. Or you'll have 3D character models against really obviously 2D backgrounds, and it'll be very odd. Or something like that. But I've seen good animation, so I know what it looks like. So I feel like this will continue to bother me, but if the story is good enough, maybe I can ignore it. I mean, there's only 8 episodes on Netflix right now, and they're about 25 minutes each. So 7 times 25, what is that? 175 minutes.
You said 8 episodes.
3 hours. I already watched one, though.
Oh, you're right. On top
so,
of that.
3 hours more of content. Is that right? Is that good math?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I still want to watch it. It's just a little disappointing, because Avatar was so wonderfully animated.
It's weird, too, because you think that, it's a Netflix show, so you can't feel like they're underfunded in any way.
Yeah.
Maybe it will come to bear fruit for some stylistic reason.
Yeah, it feels like it's a choice of they're trying to figure out how to make it sort of seem like 2D animation but use 3D animation. I just can't understand why they would make that choice. If you're going to use 3D animation, you either have to blend it nicely with 2D animation, or you just have to go all the way. Or also, why wouldn't you just do 2D animation? That tends to be my thought. Or primarily 2D animation.
You know, mostly this off-topic corner has made me wonder, is Avatar on Netflix?
It used to be.
I know. It used to be and then it went away. I should rewatch that sometime.
It's a good show. If you've never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's a very good show.
There are no blue people involved. It's not that kind of Avatar.
Yes, no. It's not James Cameron's Avatar: The Last Airbender, although I'm sure that would have been probably a little bit better than M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
What a travesty. Honestly, what a freaking travesty that movie was.
Oh, God. Whoever had, like, just, like, so many things wrong with that movie.
Just every landmine stepped on.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, that's been this week's off-topic corner. So let's move away. We were talking about animation, and what's that? Beep beep, honk honk. Here it is, the traffic report. That was a brake sound.
You said we were talking about animation, and then there was a car. What happened? Where was the transition, Madelyn?
Well, in our traffic report, one of the major things that has gone up on the blog these past 2 weeks is split screen.
Oh,
where we talk about, among other things, classic Japanese anime, My Hero Academia. Boku no Hero Academia, if you're pretentious.
Yeah, seriously, if you're real pretentious. Even in the Japanese, they have the English title, so whoever's calling it Boku no Hero Academia is a somebody.
Speaking of, so there was something that came up on my newsfeed this week about a guy who, like, heroically saved a woman at a Starbucks from being stabbed. Yeah. And what is on the shirt that he's wearing?
All Might.
All Might.
Yeah.
I can't believe you saw that too.
I loved that. That's so good. You know? Like, it's nice that there's some wholesome entertainment that's inspiring us to do better in the world. You know? And sometimes that's all you need.
I had to find a restaurant for, like, a group gathering this week. And one of the things that came up on my Yelp search was a grocery store in Williamsburg called Midoriya.
That's funny.
So it's been a very My Hero Academia kind of week here. But let's get back to the traffic report. We've gone on a little detour here, swerving back onto the highway. Traffic's flowing freely, because we've got Split Screen, where we talk about My Hero Academia, and also Boys Over Flowers, which is a K-drama that you really should get in on, because it's a wild ride.
Yeah, it really is.
I can recommend this to people unequivocally, because it's a fun watch.
It is fun.
It's trashy
I
just the right
enjoyed
way.
episode 6 a lot more than, like, any episode up to there. Like, I honestly thought episode 6 was, like, well plotted.
Yeah, it was well crafted. There weren't too many things that happened. Nobody really seemed in danger of dying, except maybe Ji-hoo when Junpyo was gonna, like, punch him out.
Yeah.
So, it was just, like, it was the best episode yet. I'm excited to see where it's going.
Yeah.
Split Screen has also moved to its new weekly time of Wednesdays, because of Emma's class schedule. It's more convenient for me, too, but I'm gonna blame it on Emma. So there's 2 editions of Split Screen that you can check out. We're all the way through My Hero Academia Season 1 now, which is exciting. So if you're just jumping in on Split Screen, this is the perfect time, because we're about to start a new season. And
it will have plenty of flashbacks to catch you up.
Yeah, like, frankly, you probably don't need to watch Season 1 if you don't want to. So that's fun. We also have 2 new editions of Clickbait Boyfriend, where Josh is still making his way through the Terra storyline in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Really pretty disturbing one this past week, honestly. Mm-hmm. What with beating up Peter Pan and the weird thing between Terra and Riku and what's even going on. Mm-hmm. We'll also, probably coming up soon, I will post my favorite Clickbait Boyfriend mini vlog of all time. I'm just waiting for the right post. He's very invested, suffice it to say. So that's still on Tuesdays. So on our blog, Tuesdays, Clickbait Boyfriend, Wednesdays from now on, Split Screen, plus the occasional other blog post. This week, I think those were the only 2 blogs, right? Or 4 blogs. I don't think we had any bonus content, did we?
Not this week, although if you go to our YouTube channel, you can find Talk This Sisters Play Fortnite if you want to see more detail into our Fortnite misadventures.
Plus our commentary.
Yes.
So that's a fun video. That's on our YouTube channel, which is Talk This Sisters. You should really subscribe so you don't miss any of our stuff. We've got a Play This coming soonish, right?
Couple weeks.
In a couple weeks. We've got The Adventures of Prince Noodletus also coming sometime in the next couple weeks. So there's going to be a lot of good YouTube content throughout the month of September. So you really want to subscribe now so you don't miss a thing. Let's see, what else? You also want to follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Talk This Sisters, where we post articles that we've been reading, memes that we think are funny, thoughts. I don't think Emma did this, but she should have. She live Facebook Messengered the Nintendo Direct to me. Really should have just been a tweet storm, but I'll forgive you. It's okay. It's not like you're majoring in this or anything. So definitely follow us on all of our social media for all of the latest Talk This updates. Also, if you enjoy the podcast, why don't you make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing? We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, anywhere you can find podcasts, you can find Talk This. So definitely tune in there, subscribe, rate and review. We love that stuff. That's our life's blood. Not really, but it's like our manna. So you should really do that. We enjoy it. You can also, if you have any questions or comments or whatever, reach out to us on our website, www.talkthis. There's a dot in there. www.talkthispodcast.com. It was weird how the rhythm of it felt off without the dot.
Yeah.
I was like, something is fatally wrong here.
Yeah.
And so that's where you can find the blog, more info about us, the games that are in the hat, and our contact page. So that's what's been up in traffic on the Talk This pages this week, which brings us to our final segment of the episode. Emma, what is our question of the fortnight?
Well, having been playing a lot of Octopath Traveler and having those class archetypes of the RPG, I was wondering what class we would be in an RPG. If we were living in an RPG world, what would our class be?
So, what are my options with this?
I don't know. Think Fire Emblem also. Those classes. Pretty much the same.
Okay, so we're not doing, Dungeons and Dragons kinds of classes.
You could do that, too. Free-flowing classes. General category.
Alright, I'm still thinking, but Emma, do you have a class in mind?
Well, I want to say, the thief class, the rogue class, that sort of thing, because I always play that, but that's because it's, aspirational.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a lie.
It doesn't really fit me. It's just the one I find most fun. I guess I would probably be some sort of magic class, in that I'm kind of fragile. And not very strong, right? So I would, keep to the back with my ranged attacks, Maybe, I think I would be, an attack mage, though. Not, the healer type mage. Clearly I know lots of technical terms for classes.
I'm still thinking, I feel like in Fire Emblem, and this is going to sound I don't know if this sounds like me being egotistical or if it sounds like me being really down on myself. So, feel it out either way. But I think I'd be a tactician. What do you think about that?
So you're a nice all-rounder who's also super smart and control freak.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Right? I thought you were going to make fun of me and be like, that's egotistical until you do the control freak thing.
It's a little egotistical, but then I thought of control freak. I was like, wait, that is right.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I like planning things. I like getting to tell people what to do. I like getting to watch it all happen. Being a producer is basically like being a tactician, except that people don't do exactly what you tell them to do. So it's like being a tactician in Fire Emblem Warriors, where as soon as they like sort of do the thing that you told them to do, they go off and do something stupid. So there's that. If we're talking more like D&D classes, I'm like looking at them right now. This is hard. I don't know. I'd be something like wussy, like a bard. No, I feel like that's too stupid. I want to say like a druid, but I'm not mystical enough for that. Like, that's just a lie. Emma's doing a little dance.
That's my mystical dance.
I don't know. I don't feel like I fit any of these. Like, where's the... I wish I was a warlock. But that's not right either. I desperately wish I was a warlock. I think life would be cooler if I was a warlock.
Well, listeners, why don't you tell us what class you think we would be?
Actually,
as well as what class you would be.
I also want to put out a call. Like, tell me, someone I know has been trying to put together a D&D game, which I might partake in if I can like make it fit into my schedule. So tell me what class you think I am as a person. You know what? I bet there's a BuzzFeed quiz for this. I should do a Buzz this week.
There probably is. You're right.
But also tell me what class I should make my character, because that's going to be something that happens at some point, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get nerdier? That's really the goal.
Anyway, thank you for listening to this week's side quest. We enjoyed talking to you. Tune in next week to hear us talk about some Life is Strange and Doom. Wow, I remember them.
Yeah, I knew it was something that completely didn't go with Life is Strange.
Yeah. Life is Strange and Doom is going to be super fun.
Doom is strange. Life is Doom.
Life is Doom is a big 2018 mood.
Too real.
Well, do you want to close us out, Mel?
I do. Have a week where you are just a little bit more like the thief or the warlock that you know you can one day be.